Hello students, today we are going to work on our chapter 4 word assignment, expense reduction. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to download our files. So let's go ahead and sign into your Canvas course and let's go ahead and scroll down to our week 1 module and let's go ahead and click on our MyLab IT course content. Now, once you click on it, give it a few seconds. It does take a little bit to load, but this loads your My IT Lab into Canvas. From here, go ahead and click on Word Chapter 4. And here are all the assignments we need to do for this week. And here it is. Here is our Word 4G expense reduction homework. Go ahead and click on that. We're going to start off by downloading our materials. One thing I want to caution you, do not click on download all files. What happens when you click on download all files is it downloads as a zip file, then you have to find it and then extract it. For our purposes, let's go ahead and just click on the download button after each one of these items. Also, it is a good idea to use Google Chrome when doing these projects. It will download the assignments or all the items into your downloads folder, and it makes it a little bit easier to find. For me, when I download them in Google Chrome, notice down here at the bottom, all of them show up. Now, the assignment that you want to open up, the document that you want to open up, is the one that has your last name on it. For me, it says student, but for you, it should say your last name. Go ahead and click on it, open it up, and this is what should open up. Go ahead and hit enable editing. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here a little bit so it makes it a little easier to see. Plus, it'll bring one page up to the forefront. And let's get started. So the first thing that we need to do, because we've already done step one we're done. It wanted us to download our file. So now, step two, we want to apply the title cell style to the first paragraph. Well, the first things I want you to get into the habit of doing is under your home tab here, under your paragraph grouping, I want you to click on this little icon right here. It's called your Show Hide button. And what this does is it show and hides these little marks right here. If I turn it off, notice how they go away. When I turn it on, it just gives me a visual representation of where I hit enter, where I've hit tab. Dots in between each word shows where I put the space bar. So it's just a visual representation of your editing marks. They do not print up when you print up a document. This is just on screen for your visual reference. So the first paragraph is this Costa Rican Trex right here. So go ahead and highlight this. And we're going to apply the title style. So we're going to come up here to our home tab and under our styles group. For me, I have several of these styles showing. For you, you may have one or two just showing depending on your screen resolution. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this down arrow with the line above it. When I hover over it, it says more. I'm going to look here for title, and here it is. Here is my title format. So I'm going to click on title format and notice how it turns it into a bigger font, changes it up a little bit. It also wants me to apply the strong style to the second paragraph. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the second paragraph, which is memo. Once I've highlighted memo, I'm going to come up here to my styles group. Once again, mine shows up here. You may have to hit this more button here. So I'm looking here and here it is. Here is my strong format. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now it wants me to change the font size of memo to 26 and change it to uppercase. So I'm going to come up here to my home tab under my font group. I want to change it to the font size of 26. And it wants me to change it to uppercase. So I'm going to come here to my font group again. And if you hover over this icon right here, it says change case. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to select uppercase. So now we're done with step number 2, moving on to step number 3. It says select the 2 and include the colon, but not the formatting marks. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to highlight the word 2, and I'm going to make sure I include that colon right there. So once I highlight that, I'm going to come up here to my font group and wants me to change it to bold. And it wants me to change the font color. In the sixth column, click on the first color. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my font color, which is this A with the red underline, and hit the down arrow next to it. And it says the sixth column. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the first one is this orange accent 2. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Notice how it turns it orange. Now it wants me to save this style. So it wants me to save that formatting, the bold and the orange text color. It wants me to save it as a style. To save this as a style, I'm going to come over here to my styles group again. This time I'm going to click the down arrow with the line above it that says more. And make sure it still is highlighted. Make sure this is still highlighted. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to create a style. I'm going to click create a style. And it's going to ask me what that style name is going to be. And I want it to be memo heading. So I'm going to type in memo heading. Make sure you capitalize the M. Make sure you capitalize the H. And then go ahead and click OK. So now what I've done is I've created my own style called memo heading. And it wants me in step number 4 to apply that to from. So I'm going to highlight from, including that colon. And I'm going to come up to my styles grouping here. And I'm going to click on our newly created memo heading. I'm going to do the same thing with date. I'm going to highlight date. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go to my styles group and I'm going to click on memo heading again. And then I'm also going to come down here to my subject, highlight subject with the colon, and then also last time, click on that. Now I can highlight all of these at the same time by highlighting one, holding down the control key, highlighting the other, and then highlighting the other. But just doing it one at a time is also an easy way to do it. All right, so now we're moving on. We're on step number 5. It wants us to change the paragraph spacing to relaxed. So easy enough. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to deselect our subject. And I'm going to go to the Design tab. And from the Design tab where it says paragraph spacing here, I'm going to come down to where it says relaxed. Once again, you're going to come to the Design tab. Under paragraph spacing, change it to relaxed. Now it says on page 1, beginning with the heading 2, change the font size of the remaining document to 12. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click and drag all the way down and highlight all the way down to page 2. So I want everything highlighted from 2 to the bottom of the document. And I'm going to change the font size to 12. So to do that, I'm going to click on the Home tab. From the Home tab, I'm going to change font size from 11 to 12. Now it wants us to select the text on page 2. So let's go ahead and go down to page 2. Go ahead and click somewhere to deselect the text. And then select and highlight all of the text on page 2. Now do not include these 2 paragraph marks. So when you highlight, make sure you're highlighting just the text. Now it wants us to apply a multi-leveled list. So to do that, we're going to come back up here to our Home tab, under our paragraph grouping, and right here is our multi-leveled list, this third icon under paragraph. Go ahead and click on that. And we want to select the second style. So it looks like this one right here, the 1 lowercase a I. So the second one right here. And notice how it puts in a multi-leveled list for us. We're going to go ahead and indent some of these real quick. So it wants us to indent mobile phone. So let's go ahead and put our cursor right here next to mobile phone, right before mobile phone. Hit the tab button. Go ahead and take your cursor, put it in front of the R of reduction, and hit the tab key. Then we're going to go ahead and put our cursor in front of V for vendor and hit tab. And go ahead and put your cursor in front of the R and hit tab. And we're going to do the same thing for evaluate. Put our cursor in front of evaluate, hit tab, and put your cursor in front of U for utilize and hit tab. And now we have 1, 2, 3, and we have AB, AB, and AB underneath those two headings. So now it wants us to select the entire list and then display the define new list style. So let's go ahead and highlight our list here. And notice that you can't start from here. You have to start from the employee. So go ahead and highlight all the way down from employee down to possible. Be careful, do not include these two paragraph marks. And we're going to define a new list style. So let's go ahead and come back up to our paragraph grouping here under our home tab. Let's go ahead and hit the down arrow for the multi-leveled list. And we are going to define new list style right here. Now our define new list style pops up. We want to change the name of the style to reduction list. So let's go ahead and type in reduction list. Make sure you capitalize the R, make sure you capitalize the L. And then it says change the second level letter style to capital ABC. So right here it says apply formatting to. Change this from first level to second level. And where it says ABC lowercase, hit the down arrow next to that and select uppercase A, B, and C. And once you've done that, go ahead and hit OK. And when you do that, notice now the lowercase AB should have changed, and now you have uppercase AB. So now on step number 8, it wants us to hold the Control End key to take us to the end of the document. So on your keyboard, hold down the Control key. While holding down the Control key, find the End key and hit End, and it will take us, notice our cursor moved now to the very bottom of the document. And down here, it wants us to insert a clustered column chart. So to do that, we're going to go to our Insert tab here. And from our Insert tab, let's go to our charts. I'm going to go ahead and click on Chart. And I want to find a clustered column chart. And it looks like it is the first one here for us. It's already set for us. Column chart, very first one, clustered column. Go ahead and hit OK. And give it a second. It's going to give us this chart in Microsoft Word. It's going to go ahead and put in this graph for us, this clustered column chart. And now we need to put our own information into this chart in Microsoft Word. So very first thing in A2, so let's go ahead and click on cell A2. Let's go ahead and type in employee. Once you type the employee, you can hit the down arrow key, which will take us down to A3. Go ahead and type in operations. Then go ahead and use the down arrow key and type in marketing. Go ahead and use the down arrow key again. For this one, category 4, go ahead and hit the delete key. So we're going to delete marketing. And also go ahead and delete B5. Also go ahead and hit the delete key for C5. And go ahead and hit the delete key for D5. Then using your arrow keys, go ahead and go all the way up to B1. And here we're going to type in budget. Go ahead and use your arrow key to go to the right. And here we're going to type in actual. And then go ahead and go to the right again where it says series 3, delete key, get rid of that. Go ahead and hit the delete key, get rid of D2. Go ahead and hit the delete key for D3, and go ahead and go down to D4 and hit delete key as well, get rid of that information. Now using your arrow keys again, go to cell B2. Let's go ahead and type in 15,000. You just have to type in 15000, then the down arrow key, and we're going to type in 43000, 43,000. And then for marketing, we're going to then cell B4, we're going to type in 26,000, 26000. Notice how I'm not putting in the commas. You do not need the commas. All right, using the arrow keys, go over one, go all the way up to cell C2. Go ahead and type in 16525. Down arrow key, type in 48632, and then down arrow key. And then in cell C4, type in 25480. So what we've done is we've come up with a little budget. We have our budgeted amount, and we also have, I put way too big of a number there in cell C4. Make sure it is 25480. Okay, there you go. That's what it should look like. So we just now put in our budget and what our actual amount was. We need to move this little dot right here. We need to move it so it only encompasses A through C and 1 to 4. So hover over this little green dot right here. Now it's very hard to see, this little green corner. Notice how the cursor will change with 2 arrows pointing diagonally. Go ahead and click hold and drag that up. And notice how the highlighted stuff now only includes B, C, all the way down to 2, 3, and 4. And let go. And notice how your chart changes, and now it should be evenly distributed across employee, operations, and marketing. Once we have that in there, we can go ahead and exit out of chart in Microsoft Word. And here is our chart. We have our chart in here. It looks very nice visual representation of our data. Now we are on step number 9. We want to apply the style for chart style. So notice now that I am clicked on this chart. Make sure the chart is clicked on because you can see you have these little dots going around it. And up here you should see these 2 contextual tabs. These tabs only show up when you have additional functionality for an item. In this particular case, we have additional settings that we can apply to this chart. So under our chart design here, we want to find style number 4. So under our chart styles here, 1, 2, 3, 4, hover over it. If you hover over it without clicking, it will actually tell us what it is. There it is, style number 4. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it wants us to format the chart shape outline. Let's go ahead and come to our Format tab here. And under our Format tab, let's find the outline, shape outline right here, where it says shape outline under shape styles. Let's go ahead and click on shape outline, and it wants us to apply the 5th column first color. So I'm going to go ahead, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like it is this blue accent 1 right here. So I'm going to click on that. It'll put a nice little outline into our chart. For step number 10, it wants us to change the chart title to the current year expenses. So let's go ahead and click on our chart title. And then notice our little cursor there. Go ahead and take our cursor and move it to the end of title behind the E. And when you put it in there, notice how it is waving hi to you inside there. Go ahead and use the backspace key. Delete the title and type in current year expenses. Once we've typed in current year expenses, go ahead and click outside of our title somewhere on the blank area of our chart. It'll deselect our title. All right, so now it wants us to center the chart horizontally on the page. To do that, we're just going to come to the Home tab here. And from our Home tab, under the paragraph grouping, go ahead and select Center. And notice how it will center our chart for us. All right, now for step number 11, it wants us to put in the file name in the footer. So let's go ahead and go to our Insert tab. And from our Insert tab, let's come over here to our Header Footer group. Let's click on Footer and go all the way down here to Edit Footer. Under Edit Footer, we're going to come over here to our Insert grouping. And under Quick Parts, we're going to select Field. And we're going to scroll down until we find File Name. So here it is, file name. We're going to select file name. And the reason why we put it in this way as a field is if the name of this file ever changes, this will automatically update for us. So I'm going to select file name, hit OK, and it will put our file name in there. For me, it's Student Word 4G. It should have your last name in it. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to close out of header footer. Now it wants us to display the document properties. So let's go to the File tab here. Under the File tab, I'm going to click on Info if it's not already selected for you. And I'm going to come over here to where it says Show All Properties. And it wants me to add expenses in the tags. So right here where it says Tags, add a tag, I'm going to type in expenses. In the subject box, so where it says specify the subject, I'm going to type in CGS. And that's it. We're done. So we can go ahead and save our document. And I leave it up just in case something happens and I can't find it. However, if you downloaded using Google Chrome and you downloaded each file individually instead of as a group, then it should be under your downloads folder. So make sure you save it again for good measure. Go ahead and minimize this. And we can come back to our test presentation tab here where we downloaded all of our materials. And we can hit the X here where it says upload completed assignment, where it says choose file. Go ahead and click on choose file. And we're going to go to our downloads folder. So I'm going to go and find my downloads folder. Right here's my downloads folder. And there it is. There is my Word 4G. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to hit open. And upload. I'm going to click on the upload button. And it should give me a success. And I'm going to hit submit for grading. And it says kudos, you have submitted your grade, or you have been submitted for a grade. Go ahead and close your assignment. And when you do that, it's going to bring us back to Canvas. And here it is. Here is our assignment that we just completed. If you want to see immediate feedback and see what you got right or wrong, you can come and click on these three dots right here and hit View Submissions. And when you click on View Submissions, it will open up your submission. And there it is, Submission 1, 100%. If I want to see if this was something lower than 100%, I could click on Submission 1, and it would give me a detailed feedback of everything that I got wrong. And then you can go back, redo it, and submit it for a better grade. So that concludes our Word 4G expense reduction assignment. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to contact me via Canvas, and have a wonderful day.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to the channel, as I'll be posting new walkthroughs and tech tips each week. Check back regularly for new content, and have a wonderful day.